Hi guys, this is Brian with Granite State Distribution and Lakes Region Luxury Outdoor. And today we're here to talk to you a little bit about our Marine Armour Ceramic Coat product that we've been using successfully for the past 2 years in the field. And we think it is one of the best ways to protect your product and your new outdoor appliances from any type of oxidization, corrosion, UV damage, acidic damage through bird droppings, and any type of caustic chemicals that are being sprayed around your product. So what exactly is Marine Armour? Well, Marine Armour is a nano-ceramic glass coating that forms a 2-micron barrier in between outside air and the stainless steel surface of your product. What this is doing is making sure that contact with salt, with chlorine, with UV is not actually penetrating onto the surface of your stainless steel product. Now, a lot of people think, why do I need this? I specifically purchased stainless steel. And the key there is stain less. What a lot of people don't seem to realize in today's day and age is that even the best stainless steels still require a certain level of maintenance and still require a certain level of cleaning on a regular basis in these environments. What Marine Armour is not is it is not a panacea. Even when Marine Armour is installed, if you live near a saltwater environment, we still recommend monthly cleanings, washing down your product. Think of it like a boat in the water. As soon as that boat comes in, even though most of these boats and the components on them are ceramic coated, the first thing you're going to see someone do is wash their boat down, because long-term uncleaned exposure to something like salt water is going to damage any type of steel you have in front of you. Well, what Marine Armour aims to do is to actually create a barrier that's there that gives you more time. Even if you were to see some type of oxidization or discoloration, that is on top of the Marine Armour product itself. And with something as simple as a barkeeper's friend is very easy to clean right off. Again, I have seen this everywhere from directly on the beach to right next to saltwater pools to right next to high chlorine environments such as hot tubs. And anything that has been thrown at a product coated with Marine Armour has been able to stand up to those products with proper maintenance. So what I'd like to do now is take you through a quick walk of what we actually do with Marine Armour, how we apply it, and what the benefits are for you in the long run. Thank you. So we're here right now with a just opened Artisan ARTP 36-inch grill. We've gone ahead, we've cleaned this with a good quality stainless steel cleaner first, just to make sure it's, we've got a lot of the grime off of there. First thing we're going to do when we're tackling any type of Marine Armour project is we're going to degrease the entire working surface. Any type of grease or debris that builds up on the unit itself, once that is coated over, that's just going to cause a very bad bond between the product and the work surface itself. So again, we recommend any type of higher quality degreaser. Anything like Simply Green, the purple grease remover, things of that nature. Things that aren't going to damage the stainless while simultaneously removing any of that machine oil that's there. We personally go for green type degreasers. We pride ourselves on the fact that Marine Armour is environmentally safe, it is food safe, and it has a burn temperature of 2,700 degrees. So none of the product lines that are generally sold in the luxury market are going to come anywhere close to that. Once our grill has been cleaned and degreased, our first step is going to be to apply our primer coat to the stainless steel. And what this is doing is similar to claying your car when you are doing a high buff and polish along with a ceramic coat on a vehicle. And it is creating a substrate that is going to allow the ceramic coating itself to adhere better to the stainless steel product. When you get a Marine Armor kit, it's going to look very similar to this. Specific color-coded buffing cloths, applicator pads, your three different coating products, and we try to make this as easy as possible for you. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to apply a generous amount of the nano of the primer to our applicator pad. And for the primer, we'll be using our yellow microfiber. Whenever we are applying a product, we want to make sure that we do not do more than we can handle in a roughly 30-second period of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in roughly 2-foot sections. We're going to apply the product, and we do everything in a crosshatch just to make sure we're getting full coating. And every layer, we're going to wind up coming over and crossing over to the prior. So you can see now this is starting to whiten up. That's what we're looking for. I'm going to take our yellow microfiber. We're simply going to buff this off. You're going to see that the product is looking streaked at this point. That is fine. As long as you don't feel any clumping of product and the product itself feels nice and smooth, you've done this correctly. Now we're going to start the upper corner and the other side, overlapping with the portion that we just did. And we'll continue this process throughout the rest of the grill. So we've given our primer about 15-20 minutes to completely dry after we've applied it. So the next step is going to be our actual ceramic coat. We're going to take our square applicator pad, and we always start with about 1 milliliter, which you'll have in the included droppers, and we apply it in a crosshatch all over the applicator. And the reason that we do this is to make sure we're getting full coverage. A little bit goes a very, very long way, so it's important to pay attention to the product, looking at the color as you're going over this. We're going to buff this material off with our gray chamois. Just like we did with our primer, we're going to work in roughly 2-foot sections, applying in a crosshatch pattern with overlapping coats. You can already see the difference in color once the Marine Armor ceramic coating is applied. And we give that about 15 to 30 seconds to actually sit on the product before we start buffing. You'll notice when you start buffing the ceramic coat that it's very tacky. You'll know you're done buffing when it's a nice smooth surface. Again, coming to the other side of the product, overlapping with our first section, getting around and on top of the thermometer. And as you're buffing, we're going to go over sections that we've already done, just to blend this in and to level out the product itself. So we're going to continue with the rest of this product. Once it is applied to the entire grill, we're going to give it roughly 2 hours to cure before we go in with our gloss coat. So we'll see you when we're ready for that. Okay, so we've let our ceramic coating cure for roughly 2 hours now. It is dry to the touch. It is no longer tacky. So the last step in our process is going to be applying our gloss coat, which is really going to give it that depth and that shine that everybody is looking for. So just like with the ceramic coat, we're going to work roughly 1 milliliter at a time. It's in a simple crosshatch pattern so that we're getting all over the applicator pad. And we're going to use our blue chamois to buff this after application. So as we've done with the other products in this process, we're going to apply the gloss coat in roughly 2x2 sections in that crosshatch pattern to make sure we're getting full coverage. You're going to find that the gloss coat is a lot less tacky than the actual ceramic coat product is. And we're going to keep working off to the side here, overlapping our coats as we go. Make sure we get in and around that thermometer. And there we go. We're going to keep working on the rest of this grill, and we'll come back and close up with a couple of comments after. Okay, so you've seen the full application of our Marine Armor product, and it is not a difficult process. However, just like with automotive paint or powder coating, any type of specialty coating, the prep work is always the most important aspect of this. Making sure that this is applied to a clean, grease-free, dirt-free product is what's really going to give you the best adhesion to the product itself. It's going to make sure you've got the longest lifespan of the Marine Armor product, and it's just going to make for happier customers. So a couple of things for you. Final curing, we like to give the product 24 hours just to cure. In that time, you are going to notice some streaks. You are going to notice some cloudiness here and there. That is part of the curing process. That is also why we do not wrap the product immediately after finishing, because we want it having that airflow to help in this curing process. The full cure process takes about 2 weeks. So there is a good chance that once this is wrapped, put back on your shelves, if it is going out to a customer, they could even see that. It is safe to handle within 2 hours. It is safe to cook on within 24 hours. But the full cure process can take upwards of 2 weeks. So in that time, we advise people not to use any type of cleaners on the product itself. What type of lifespan can you expect with a properly applied marine armor? On average, we're looking at about 3 to 5 years based on tech sheets that we were given by the actual manufacturer. So that being said, it's also all about upkeep. As I mentioned earlier, marine armor is not a cure-all. You still must maintain your product. If you are in a saltwater environment close to the ocean, let's say, you still have to hose down your product and maintain it as you would with any other product that isn't treated with marine armor. The difference is that the marine armor product is going to help protect your grill, your door draw combos, your refrigerators, your power burners, your pizza ovens. It's going to make sure that if, God forbid, that end user is traveling or using this as a second home and they come back a month later and there is a slight buildup of oxidization or corrosion, that with simple cleaning products, that will come right off and no damage will be done to the item itself. There are ways to extend the life of your marine armor coating. We do sell an upkeep product that is used twice a year, 6-month intervals, or northeast where we are, we might not be grilling all year long. Usually at the opening of grill season, at the close of grill season. It's a simple spray-on, buff-off product that is also available. We generally advise that point in time, do a full cleaning of your outdoor kitchen and your items, clean, polish. There's no need to degrease at that point. Simply spray on, give it 30 seconds, buff it off, and it's good to go. And that is going to increase the hydrophobic properties of the marine armor itself so that it is expelling that water and that moisture, making sure that contaminants still cannot get to the stainless steel product.